Welcome to Meaningful Morning. Please relax the body, enjoy the breath, quieten the mind. A seeker in our community, Venkatesh, his father has passed away almost suddenly. So we offer our prayers for inner and outer strength to Venkatesh. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. May all remember their nature. Yesterday afternoon, I taught at a college in Toronto to a group of international students from Switzerland. And the theme of this conference was Inspired Change for a Shared Future. Inspired Change for a Shared Future. And what I had taught was the importance of understanding. Understanding, in the language of Bhagavad Gita, specifically Puja Swami Chinmayananda, is that background memory. When you understand a subject, when you understand a person, that becomes part of your background memory. In our Upanishad course, Puja Swami Tejomayananda has shared, Shravana is fulfilled when there is smarana. Listening is only happening if that's leading to remembering. So what I shared with these students is to understand their purpose. I went in order. You first have to understand your purpose. And what is their purpose? The same as ours, that is to be happiness. So purpose is happiness. That leads to the next understanding, which is to understand your part. Understand your purpose, understand your part. That you are a part, and if you are, there's a whole. So your purpose, your part, is to help others be happy. And the third understanding is to understand your path. Your path. How do you make the connection between your purpose and your part? And I shared with them, it is to be holistic. Live in a holistic way, not just about your career. And I specified that everyone should be contributing their resources, time, and effort to the environment. That is our shared future, correct? Meaningful mornings may not be our shared future, but the environment, that is our shared future. All that I shared with these international students from Switzerland, the same Sri Krishna shared zillions of years ago. I don't know what number to make up. In chapter 12, in verse 9. Shri Krishna shares, practice surrender. Practicing surrender could be equated to understanding your purpose. In verse 10, it is to serve. Verse 9 is surrender. Verse 10 is to serve. That is for our actions to be dedicated to be oriented to Shri Krishna. Maybe that's like our part. Our part is to act for the whole. And then in verse 11, Shri Krishna is sharing, if you can't surrender, serve. If you can't serve, support. That is to direct or orient your results to Shri Krishna. Maybe that's like one's path. To be holistic with all that you receive is not yours. Another word for understanding is vijnana. It is not external but internal. And I had hinted at this yesterday. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Krishna shares with Rishi Uddhava, tamasic or lazy understanding is where one feels the part is the whole. The part is the whole. An example of that is where people feel their families are their lives. Their families are a part. They're not the whole. People who feel their careers are their lives. That's a part, not the whole. Rajasic understanding, it's understanding that is based on aggressiveness, focuses on diversity. That diversity is reality. This is the finality. Sattvic vijnana, that is understanding based on quietness. One sees and feels unity. More authentic and deep than diversity is unity. Tomorrow at our ashram in Niagara Falls, the new recruits in the Niagara Regional Police Service are coming to the ashram to learn about Hinduism, about Sanatana Dharma. And though this is part of their diversity, equity, and inclusion effort, I'm going to be talking about unity, because that is more authentic and deep than diversity. And atita vijnana, that is understanding that is beyond any limit, is one of awareness. That one feels there is only infinitude. Some are trying to understand, why are you telling us this right now? The more authentic and deep your vijnana is or understanding is, the more you will surrender. The one who's tamasic, no surrender. The one who's sattvic surrenders, and when that's completed, you've risen. You've risen to where you can't rise anymore. Make sense? Sanatana Dharma is a lovely religion, vision, you can call it whatever you want, because it is evolution friendly. Throughout Sanatana Dharma, throughout Bhagavad Gita, frameworks are given to gauge our evolution on how to evolve. I'm reading an insight from Pujaswami Chinmayananda. Even to such seekers belonging to the lowest conceivable type, the Gita has a path of advice. Ordinarily, such persons would have been a despair to all religions. Even such chronic cases are taken up by the Gita, treated considerately with simple methods, and finally elevated to the highest personality, luster, and efficiency. The rising is to surrender. If you can't surrender, practice. If you can't practice, dedicate your actions. If you can't dedicate your actions, dedicate your results. Shri Krishna has never given up on us, so you shouldn't either. Try. We are now in chapter 12, verse 12. This is one of my favorite verses. Whenever I facilitate rituals, I always explain this verse first. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma palatyagaha, tyaga shantiranantaram. Joy. I'm going to read the translation too, and you're going to be confused. So then I'm going to personalize this. Knowledge is indeed better than practice. Meditation is better than knowledge. Renunciation of the fruits of actions is better than meditation. Peace immediately follows renunciation. So I've translated Sanskrit into English. Now I have to translate the English into practice. Okay, start to see this ladder. At the bottom of this ladder is abhyasa. Try to define abhyasa in this verse as action. It is when you're doing in a ritualistic, robotic way. That is the lowest form of evolution. Superior to this is jnana. Try to define jnana in this verse as information. Information. This is superior to action because now you have information about that action. In this very micro example, abhyasa would be Vivek chanting in Sanskrit. Then jnana is Vivek translating. See how it's superior? But it's still not personal. It doesn't move us. Then Shri Krishna shares, superior to jnana is dhyana. Jnana with a J, dhyana I'm sharing with a D, dhyana. That is appreciation. To have information about what you're doing is better than no information, but to have an appreciation of your actions is superior. Do you like this verse so far? And I find it to strongly relate to rituals again. To me, rituals are abhyasa. Then, when you have some information about rituals, like what arti is, why we offer arti, it is to see divinity more clearly. So now I have information about that ritual. But more so is the dhyana or the appreciation that my life should be in such a way where I'm always able to see divinity. See how much more beautiful arti becomes then. Superior to dhyana is tyaga. Tyaga. From appreciation to vision. Translate tyaga as vision. When you have the vision that all is Sri Krishna, you're in Sri Krishna, you're living for Sri Krishna, then what happens is you don't need any externalities. The fuller term here is to renounce the results of your actions if you have the vision that all is Sri Krishna, all is for Sri Krishna. What results are yours? Are you the doer? And superior to tyaga is shanti. And shanti here we can translate as transformation. When you evolve from action to information to appreciation to vision, you change who you are. Earlier this week, a seeker had asked me, what is contemplation? She really wants to know. And I shared with her, it's when you change who you are, where you leave behind who you were, you don't recognize who you are. This week, I've tried to explain this in a more cultural way. To chant Swaha. Swaha means this is yours. It's a form of dedication. And what does dedication pull? Sacrifice. For you to chant, Idam Namama. See how beautifully that's all connected? When we have this vision, then Swaha, Idam Namama becomes so natural. One is experiencing Sri Krishna, experiencing peace, joy. Okay, so the next time you're with a ritual, the next time you're engaged in an action, where are you on this ladder? Is it action? Is it transformation? And Sri Krishna knows that this may be complex for us. He knows that we need help. So the last part of chapter 12, verses 13 to 20, is a special part of chapter 12. I've said that for every part. But this is a more special part. We're going to invest a lot of ourselves into this. And what a beautiful way to get into this new train of thought than by celebrating Bhagwan Hanumana's Jayanti tomorrow. That's our special gathering, and then we'll get into verse 13 and move forward. From inspiration to application, your application really for 2 days now was to engage in a yajna. I had asked the seekers in Pittsburgh to get me smokeless camphor. That way, when we're in the hotel, the fire alarm won't go off. See, whenever we think of yajna, we think of smoke in our eyes. But dedication and sacrifice is like yajna without the smoke. I asked you to speak it, because if you speak it, you may think it, you may act it. Swaha, idam namama. Your application for this morning, I want you to go through the ladder from abhyasa to shanti, and I want you to direct this towards our Prithvi Seva community on the Chinmaya Niagara website. On the Chinmaya Niagara website, there's a community on Prithvi Seva. This shouldn't just be an action for us. I want us to really invest for this to be an action, information, appreciation, vision, transformation. So make sure you get to Shanti with the Prithvi Seva work that we're doing together. That's your application. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.